Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, Chapter 49. When we last left our heroes, we focused on the conclusion of Wendy's fight with Nabal, after Wendy used enchantment magic to get a little bit of Irene's powers. Also, we found out that as Irene was dying, she enchanted a little bit of her consciousness onto Wendy. So she's kind of still a little bit alive inside Wendy's head. And she's the one that actually does the final blow on Nabal, using, I think, a separation enchantment to separate Nabal from his magic. Though his magic will replenish in time. The most important thing we learned, though, is that Irene is A, looking for a new body, which is suspicious, because the only way she'd get that would be, by killing someone, like she tried to do to Wendy. And B, she can teach Wendy that same separation enchantment to use to separate the White Wizard and Toka. That's kind of how we left off last time, so let's jump right on into Chapter 49, The Last Orb. And we see Happy is, fantasizing about Carla and Toka giving him Valentine's gifts. The ultimate choice. Nay, the ultimate misconclusion. Lucy also has one that she kind of seems to maybe be given to Natsu in the corner. Natsu just kind of looking at Happy's daydreams. So yeah, let's jump right on in. We open on Natsu and Happy, who are still flying towards... They saw the beam of light that Irene formed last chapter. I'm sure it was around here. Natsu, over there! And he sees Wendy standing alone in the rubble. It's Wendy! Hang on, something feels off. And Wendy is listening to Irene talk, but of course Happy cannot see that because Irene only exists in Wendy's head. I see. That does seem quite difficult. No, it's just... Okay, I think I understand. Right. And Happy and Natsu are eavesdropping, trying to... listening to Wendy just, talk to herself. She's just muttering to herself. Wendy's turned into a delinquent. And Natsu, don't tell me it's that ghost guy again. Alright, I have to turn into a thought projection again. First, I guess you didn't notice that Wraith died. But Natsu just, falls down on the ground, like Shinra in that last Fire Force chapter, and just sits there for a moment angrily, and he jumps back up. How do I turn into a thought projection? How should I know? And then Wendy comes over to him. What are you doing, Natsu-san? Gwah! Are you okay, Wendy? And he goes over, starts, touching Wendy's head, making sure she's alright. Yes? You were talking to yourself about something. Yeah, I might have been talking to an invisible acquaintance. That's one way to describe her relationship with Irene. But thanks to that, I might be able to use a separation enchantment. What's that? Originally, it's a spell that separates magic from a person. But if I use this magic, it may be able to turn the White Wizard's dual personality back into two separate people. And Happy pauses for a moment. You can turn Toka back to normal? Toka? She's one of the White Wizard's personalities, and a cat. We just ran into the White Wizard and managed to escape somehow. It wasn't an escape. Happy just kidnapped me. Natsu is still just raring for a fight. Do you know where the White Wizard is? She's in the church in the backside city. Because she was in pain, she might still be there. Then let's go. We have to save everyone. But first, we have to go help Carla. Carla? Where is Carla, actually? I think she's trapped in the webbing back at the church. But he has the two split images that we see from the cover picture. Happy, Carla on one side. Happy-sama, Toka on the other. What should I do? And Natsu and Wendy just leave him behind. We're leaving, Happy. It's this way. Then we check in at some kind of, amusement park. And Gray is just completely worn out. And Kana walks up to him. That was pathetic. You were struggling against a beat-up opponent? Well, that opponent was Mira-chan! You gave it your all, Gray-sama. And Lucy looks down. But now, we have Mira-san and Elfman in these cards. So I guess they just kind of beat Mira and Elfman off screen. Alright. That's kind of weird. Speaking of which, the Master was beaten. And so they got Makarov sealed away too. Amy got Gajil and Levy while they were flirting. Levy's unconscious. Gajil is the only one still awake, and he's banging on the edge of the card. And Gray turns to Kana. How many more of our possessed guildmates are left? Well, for the hardest ones, there's Loxus and Jalal. Is Loxus even someone we can defeat? And Kana gets down on the ground and does some fortune telling. Doesn't look like we have to. And Gray looks surprised at that. According to my fortune telling, neither of them can move. Seems to me they're in no condition to fight. In case you forgot, Loxus is knocked out after his fight with Urza. And Jalal is still bound by Urza after she ran away to deal with Loxus. Do you know where they are? I do for Loxus, but Jalal isn't from the same guild, so he'll be harder to track. Could it be your fortune telling lets you know where everyone is, Kana-san? Poon, and Plu? Plu is, seems downcast by that? It's okay, your nose was still useful. Was Plu doing something? Was Plu actually doing something? Okay. I can find the general place, but it's better to use Plu's nose when we're nearby. Poon! And Plu was, uplifted again. Good for you, Plu. Anyway, if Loxus isn't in any condition to fight right now, and Lucy stands up with determination in her eyes, let's imprison him in a card. Now we're back at Nabal's church. Carla, are you alright? Good grief, how long were you going to keep me here? Carla! And Happy and Natsu, burst into the room. Happy! And Natsu! Warren, Max, and the others are here, too. I feel sorry for them, but they are conveniently unconscious. Are you hurt, Carla? It's nothing, really. And Happy just kind of, stares at her for a long moment, and Carla looks over at him. Why are you staring at me like that? You really are a cutie. What are you saying all of a sudden? Disgusting! Alright, Natsu is not paying any attention to all that. Alright, let's pay the White Wizard into a visit. The White Wizard? She's actually a cat or something, and Wendy's gonna make her into one. And Carla kind of looks at him confused. I'm not exactly following you. Natsu-san, I think you're confused. And Wendy apparently gets all this. Even despite the fact that Natsu does not, and Natsu is the one that's actually met Toka. Apparently the White Wizard is inside the Exceed Toka, like a split personality. And I have to turn them back into two with a separation enchantment. An Exceed? That's impossible. After all, we know all of the Exceed in Earthland. Oh. There's another suspicious thing about Toka's identity. I'm always just about to give up on the one-person theory. And then something happens that's wait a second, what if they are only one person? The Exceed were sent from Aedalos 14 years ago, and the Exceed came to this world after Aedalos' magic disappeared 8 years ago. My mother, the Queen, made a list of names and kept track of everyone. Happy chimes in, we visit this world's version of Extalia sometimes. I wish we could see that every now and then. We never really get to see all that. Them just hanging out with the Exceeds. Or the Exceeds really still existing at all. You know? The thing that made Toka being an Exceed such an interesting thing is that the Exceeds have kind of been left behind ever since Aedalos. With the exception, of course, of Happy, Lily, Carla, and maybe Nichia, who shows up during the Grand Magic Games at the very least. So I'd like to visit Extalia every now and then. A surviving Exceed. What could it mean? Then there's this big, rumble of energy. This big shaking. Rocks the cathedral. Whoa, it's huge! And Wendy recognizes it. This feeling is the same as when the orb was destroyed. Let's go. To the White Wizard. And then Team Lucy's feeling it too. Not again. The ground. It's much bigger this time. And Juvia, grabs onto to Gray's arm. Kah. Hurry. We have to gather everyone. And in the left shoulder city, also feeling the rumbling, Mest has just destroyed one of the orbs. Completely unopposed. Once again, everyone forgets about Mest. Which is kind of the Mest vibe. That leaves just one more. I'm coming to you at once, Great White Wizard. And he warps away. Meanwhile, the backside city, he warps into the cathedral, and he sees the White Wizard, curled up on the ground. He looks surprised. And I can't quite tell what the White Wizard is doing because... she seems to be panting, but the sound has not been translated. What is the matter, Great White Wizard? You must be I am Mest, the teleporter, of course. It would have been much quicker if I left it all to you from the start. Haha. I actually kind of like that. Because it shows that the White Wizard is not fully... She's not omniscient. There are parts of Fairy Tail she just kind of doesn't know. You know, Mest is kind of a minor character, and so Mest is not someone she's, like, super knowledgeable about. It's kind of a reminder that she doesn't know everything. Anyway, the final orb is over there. Mest looks over it with surprise. Destroy it at once! Seal all of the Wood Dragon God Alderon's power! As you command! The moment this orb is destroyed, the 5 cities will perish alongside Alderon. A crushing blow to powerful magic. An era of white peace in the world. Believe in me! Absolutely! And Mest destroys the final orb. To be continued next time. Alright. So that's the second dragon to lose its magic. Because Merfolvia, while technically still being alive, is now a magicless human. And Alderon no longer has his magic after Mest destroys the final orb. So yeah, the Alderon arc is definitely moving into its endgame. There's not a whole lot more we can do with it. And I'm kind of curious if that means that the White Wizard storyline is moving into its endgame. The way all these different storylines are weaving in the fabric of 100 Years Quest is one of my favorite things about it, but it also makes arcs really hard... Excuse me. It really makes arcs really hard to define. So, you know, I don't know. So just because Alderon is wrapping up, that does not mean that the White Wizard is wrapping up. Certainly does not mean that Diabolos is wrapping up, given that they've already basically retreated. I think all of them besides Nabal have retreated at this point. Nabal is still here, of course, unconscious, because that's how we left him last time. So yeah, like, after last time I was like, oh, Wendy's learning the Separation Enchantment. She's about to go to the Backside City. She's going to use the Separation Enchantment. That's going to be the build-up to the final battle of the White Wizard arc. But now that she's won, now that she's gotten Alderon's magic gone, what's stopping her from just, like, leaving? You know, she has no more reason to be here right now. If she senses that Wendy has the Separation Enchantment, I think she's just going to retreat. You know, take the Fairy Tail members she still has under her control, like Mest, maybe Loxus and Jalal, and then just fucking go. Of course, leaving them up as future opponents. So yeah, there's the fact that she's taken down Alderon, which also is technically part of the 100 Years Quest, so that's also another thing to keep in mind. Yeah. She's... I don't know, I had a train of thought and I just lost it. Anyway, Natsu and Wendy are headed for the White Wizard, presumably for what they think is their final battle with her. Again, she might just retreat. And Team Lucy is going to see Loxus and Jalal to steal them away. Again, I have a feeling the next chapter is just going to be Fairy Tail, you know, failing at all their missions. So the White Wizard's going to get away. She's going to get Loxus and Jalal and Mest. And maybe even the guys Nabal has locked up, though they're like Warren and Max aren't exactly dangerous foes. So yeah, it looks like the Alderon arc is about to wrap up. And I have a feeling that this is not the end of the White Wizard, but we'll have to wait and see for next time. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or, you know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!